MicroStrategy is not a cryptocurrency company. It is a business intelligence software company. Founded in 1989 by Michael Saylor, it provides analytics tools to corporations. By 2020, it is a solid but unremarkable company. Revenue is flat. The stock is stagnant. Then Saylor has an epiphany. He realizes the company is sitting on $500 million in cash. Cash that is losing value to inflation. He studies economics, monetary policy, Bitcoin. He becomes obsessed. He concludes holding cash is suicide. Bitcoin is the only defense. So he converts MicroStrategy's treasury into Bitcoin. Wall Street is confused. Is MicroStrategy a software company or a Bitcoin fund? Saylor does not care about labels. He sees the future. By 2024, MicroStrategy is no longer known for software. It is known as the Bitcoin Treasury Company, the corporate world's largest Bitcoin holder. This is the story of how one CEO's obsession transformed a boring software company into the most controversial bet in finance. Let us rewind to 1989. Michael Saylor is 24 years old. He graduates from MIT with degrees in aeronautics, astronautics, and science, technology, and society. He is brilliant, ambitious, and convinced he will change the world. Saylor co-founds MicroStrategy with Sanju Bansal. Their vision helped companies analyze massive amounts of data. In the pre-internet era, data is trapped in silos. Companies cannot see patterns. MicroStrategy's software unlocks insights. McDonald's uses it to optimize menu pricing. Credit card companies use it to detect fraud. The product works. MicroStrategy grows rapidly. By the late 1990s, during the dot-com boom, the company goes public. The stock soars. At its peak in March 2000, MicroStrategy is valued at over $25 billion. Saylor's personal net worth reaches $14 billion. He is one of the richest people in America. At 35, he seems unstoppable. Then disaster strikes. In March 2000, the SEC investigates MicroStrategy for accounting fraud. The company has been improperly recognizing revenue. When the corrections are announced, the stock collapses. In one day, it falls 62%. Saylor loses $6 billion in personal wealth, the fastest wealth destruction in history at that time. Saylor is humiliated. He settles with the SEC, paying $11 million in fines. But he does not give up. He rebuilds MicroStrategy. Slowly, over 2 decades, the company stabilizes. It never regains its dot-com peak, but it survives. By 2020, MicroStrategy is a solid enterprise software company. Revenue is around $500 million annually, profitable but not growing. The stock trades around $120. It is respectable but boring. Saylor is now 55. He has spent 30 years building MicroStrategy. He could retire comfortably, but he is restless. He wants more. He wants to be remembered. He wants vindication after the dot-com crash. He is searching for the next big thing. In early 2020, he finds it. Bitcoin. March 2020. The COVID pandemic hits. Global markets crash. Governments respond with massive stimulus. The Federal Reserve prints trillions of dollars. Central banks around the world do the same. Michael Saylor watches. He sees inflation coming. All this money printing will devalue currencies. Cash will lose purchasing power. MicroStrategy is sitting on $500 million in cash. If inflation hits, that cash will be worth less. Saylor needs a solution. He studies economics. He reads Milton Friedman, Friedrich Hayek, and Ludwig von Mises. He learns about Austrian economics and sound money. He becomes obsessed with monetary policy. He realizes fiat currencies are designed to lose value. Inflation is not a bug. It is a feature. Governments inflate away debt. Savers are punished. Cash is trash. Saylor searches for alternatives. Gold, too cumbersome. Real estate, illiquid. Stocks, too risky for treasury reserves. Bonds, negative real yields. Nothing works. Then he discovers Bitcoin. Not for the first time. He has heard of it before but dismissed it. In 2013, he called Bitcoin "days are numbered." He thought it would be regulated out of existence. But now, in 2020, he reconsiders. Saylor spends months studying Bitcoin. He reads Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper. He studies the code, the network, the economics. He talks to Bitcoin advocates. He watches hours of videos. He becomes convinced Bitcoin is digital gold. It is scarce. There will only ever be 21 million coins. It is decentralized. No government controls it. It is portable. You can send it anywhere instantly. It is the hardest money ever created. Saylor has his epiphany. Bitcoin is the solution to inflation. It is the best store of value in human history. MicroStrategy should not hold cash. It should hold Bitcoin, but Wall Street will think he is crazy. Converting a corporate treasury into cryptocurrency is unprecedented. No major company has done it. It is risky. Bitcoin is volatile. It crashed 80% in 2018. Analysts will call him reckless. Investors might flee. Saylor does not care. He has conviction. He believes Bitcoin will reach $100,000, then 1 million. It is the future of money. MicroStrategy will be the first mover. They will lead the corporate Bitcoin revolution. In July 2020, Saylor announces, MicroStrategy will explore alternative treasury reserve assets. Wall Street is confused. What does that mean? A month later, they find out. August 11, 2020, MicroStrategy issues a press release that shocks Wall Street. The company has purchased 21,454 Bitcoin for $250 million. Average price, $11,654 per coin. It is the first major corporate Bitcoin purchase in history. Tesla, Square, and others will follow later. But MicroStrategy is first. Saylor is the pioneer. The market reacts with confusion. MicroStrategy is a software company. Why is it buying cryptocurrency? Analysts are skeptical. This is a speculative bet, they say. It is inappropriate for corporate treasuries. Some investors love it. Others dump the stock. Saylor goes on the offensive. He appears on podcasts, interviews, and conferences. He explains his thesis. The dollar is being debased. Inflation is coming. Bitcoin is digital gold. It is the only rational treasury reserve asset. Cash is losing value. Bitcoin is gaining value. MicroStrategy is not speculating. It is defending shareholder value. Some people get it. Many do not. But Saylor does not stop. He keeps buying. September 2020, MicroStrategy buys another $175 million of Bitcoin. December 2020, another $650 million. By the end of 2020, MicroStrategy owns over 70,000 Bitcoin. The company has spent over $1 billion. Saylor has personally bought more Bitcoin. He now owns over 17,000 coins. He is all in. Bitcoin's price starts rising. In December 2020, it breaks $20,000. By early 2021, it hits 40,000. Saylor's bet is paying off. MicroStrategy's Bitcoin holdings are worth over $2 billion. The company's stock surges. From $120 in August 2020, it hits over $1,000 by February 2021. Investors who believed in Saylor have made fortunes, but the volatility is extreme. Bitcoin crashes to 30,000 in the summer of 2021. Critics say Saylor is reckless. MicroStrategy should sell, take profits. But Saylor refuses. He does not trade Bitcoin. He accumulates. We are never selling, he says. By November 2021, Bitcoin hits an all-time high, $69,000. MicroStrategy's holdings are worth over $5 billion. Saylor is vindicated. He is celebrated as a visionary. Bitcoin is the future. MicroStrategy is leading the way. Then the crash comes. 2022 is brutal for Bitcoin. In January, it starts falling. 40,000, 35,000, 30,000. The Federal Reserve is raising interest rates to fight inflation. Risk assets are getting crushed. Stocks fall. Crypto falls harder. By June 2022, Bitcoin is at $20,000. MicroStrategy's unrealized losses are over $1 billion. Critics pounce. Saylor was wrong, they say. Bitcoin is crashing. MicroStrategy is in trouble. Then it gets worse. November 2022, FTX collapses. The crypto exchange run by Sam Bankman-Fried goes bankrupt overnight. Billions of customer funds are missing. The entire crypto industry is shaken. Bitcoin crashes to $15,000. MicroStrategy's Bitcoin holdings are underwater. The company bought Bitcoin at an average price of around $30,000. Bitcoin is now at $15,000. Unrealized losses exceed $2 billion. The stock collapses. From over $1,000, it falls to $120. Back to where it started in August 2020, Saylor faces a firestorm. Analysts say he destroyed shareholder value. Investors demand he sell Bitcoin, cut losses, return to focusing on software. But Saylor refuses. We are never selling, he repeats. Bitcoin is long-term. This is just volatility. Some board members question him. Is this irresponsible? Should they reverse course? But Saylor is CEO and chairman. He controls the company. He will not sell. Instead, he does the opposite. In December 2022, as Bitcoin sits at $16,000, MicroStrategy buys more. Another $10 million worth. Saylor is doubling down. Critics call him insane. He is throwing good money after bad, they say. MicroStrategy will go bankrupt. Bloomberg runs headlines. Is MicroStrategy facing a margin call? The company has taken out loans to buy Bitcoin. If Bitcoin falls below certain levels, lenders could liquidate, but the margin call never comes. MicroStrategy structured its loans carefully. They have years to mature. The company is not in immediate danger, and Saylor believes Bitcoin will recover. He keeps accumulating. Every dip is an opportunity. 2022 is a year of fear, but Saylor sees it differently. It is a year of opportunity. He is buying Bitcoin at a discount. By the end of 2022, MicroStrategy owns 130,000 Bitcoin. The average purchase price is around $30,000. Bitcoin is at 16,000. The company is sitting on over $2 billion in unrealized losses. But Saylor is unfazed. History will prove us right, he says. January 2023, Bitcoin starts climbing. Slowly at first. 17,000. 18,000. 20,000. The worst seems over. The FTX contagion fades. The Federal Reserve signals it will pause rate hikes. Risk appetite returns. By March 2023, Bitcoin is back to 25,000. MicroStrategy's unrealized losses shrink. The stock starts recovering. From $120, it climbs to $200. Saylor is vindicated, but not yet. He needs Bitcoin to hit 30,000, his average purchase price, to break even on paper. Critics are still skeptical. Bitcoin could crash again, they warn, but Saylor is not worried. He sees the bigger picture. Institutional adoption is coming. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, files for a Bitcoin ETF. Fidelity is offering Bitcoin to clients. Banks are building crypto desks. The corporate world is waking up to Bitcoin. In June 2023, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF application is officially filed. The market reacts. Bitcoin surges to $30,000. MicroStrategy breaks even. The stock hits $300. Saylor tweets, Bitcoin is inevitable. By October 2023, Bitcoin is at 35,000. MicroStrategy is profitable on its Bitcoin bet. Unrealized gains over $500 million. The stock is at $400. Investors who held through the crash are rewarded. Then, in January 2024, the SEC approves Bitcoin ETFs. Spot Bitcoin ETFs from BlackRock, Fidelity, and others launch. Billions of dollars flow in. Bitcoin explodes. 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. MicroStrategy's holdings surge in value. The stock goes parabolic. $400, 600, 800, 1,000. By March 2024, Bitcoin hits 73,000, a new all-time high. MicroStrategy's stock peaks at over $1,800. Saylor is completely vindicated. His bet has made billions, but he is not selling. He keeps buying. MicroStrategy issues convertible debt to buy more Bitcoin. The company owns over 200,000 coins by mid-2024. It is the largest corporate Bitcoin holder in the world. In November 2024, Bitcoin hits $100,000 for the first time. MicroStrategy's holdings are worth over $20 billion. The average purchase price is around $40,000. That is over 150% return. The stock is at $1,500. From $120 in August 2020 to $1,500. Over 10 times return in 4 years. Saylor has proven everyone wrong. The critics, the doubters, the short sellers. MicroStrategy is no longer a software company. It is a Bitcoin Treasury Company, and it is winning. MicroStrategy's Bitcoin strategy is unique. It is not just buying with cash. It is using leverage, debt, equity, whatever it takes to accumulate more Bitcoin. First, cash flow. MicroStrategy's software business generates around $100 million in free cash flow annually. That cash goes into Bitcoin. Second, debt offerings. MicroStrategy issues convertible notes. These are bonds that can convert into stock. Investors buy the bonds. MicroStrategy uses the proceeds to buy Bitcoin. By 2024, MicroStrategy has raised over $4 billion through convertible debt. All of it goes into Bitcoin. Third, equity offerings. MicroStrategy issues new shares. This dilutes existing shareholders, but Saylor believes it is worth it. The company raises over $2 billion through equity offerings. All of it goes into Bitcoin. Fourth, Bitcoin-backed loans. MicroStrategy borrows against its Bitcoin holdings. It takes out loans using Bitcoin as collateral. The proceeds go into buying more Bitcoin. It is leverage on top of leverage. Critics call it reckless. MicroStrategy is over-leveraged, they warn. If Bitcoin crashes, the company is in trouble. But Saylor is careful. The loans are structured with long maturities, low interest rates, favorable terms. The company is not at immediate risk of liquidation. Saylor's philosophy: Bitcoin is the best asset. The more you own, the better. So you use every tool available to accumulate. Cash, debt, equity, loans. It does not matter. Accumulate Bitcoin. That is the strategy. By 2024, MicroStrategy owns over 214,000 Bitcoin, worth over $21 billion. The company has spent around $9.9 billion purchasing it. Average cost, around $46,000 per coin. With Bitcoin at 100,000, the unrealized gain is over $11 billion. The stock price reflects this. MicroStrategy's market cap is over $50 billion. The software business is worth maybe $2 billion. The rest is Bitcoin premium. Investors are paying a premium to get Bitcoin exposure through a publicly traded stock. Some analysts call it a proxy for Bitcoin. Others call it leverage on Bitcoin. Either way, MicroStrategy is now a Bitcoin play. The software business is secondary. Saylor does not mind. He has successfully transformed MicroStrategy from a boring software company into the most exciting Bitcoin story in corporate America. Michael Saylor is not just buying Bitcoin. He is evangelizing it. He becomes Bitcoin's most vocal advocate. He appears on every podcast, every interview, every conference. He gives hundreds of hours of content explaining Bitcoin. He breaks down the economics, the technology, the philosophy. He is articulate, passionate, relentless. Saylor's message is consistent. Fiat currencies are dying. Inflation is theft. Bitcoin is the solution. It is digital property, the hardest money ever created. Everyone should own it. Individuals, companies, governments. Bitcoin is inevitable. He popularizes phrases. Bitcoin is hope. Bitcoin is freedom. There is no second best. He frames Bitcoin not as a speculative asset, but as a savings technology, a way to preserve wealth across time. Saylor's influence is enormous. He convinces other CEOs to buy Bitcoin. Elon Musk's Tesla buys $1.5 billion of Bitcoin in February 2021. Jack Dorsey's Square, now Block, buys 50 million. Other companies follow. Saylor starts the corporate Bitcoin movement. He also educates institutions. He creates the Bitcoin for Corporations conference. He invites CFOs, treasurers, and board members. He teaches them how to buy Bitcoin, how to custody it, how to account for it. He makes Bitcoin approachable for corporate America. Critics call him a zealot, a cult leader. They say he is creating a bubble, pumping Bitcoin so his own holdings increase in value. Saylor does not care. He has conviction. He genuinely believes Bitcoin is the future. He is not selling, ever. By 2024, Saylor is one of the most recognizable faces in Bitcoin. He has over 3 million followers on Twitter, now X. His interviews get millions of views. He is a legend in the Bitcoin community. Some worship him. Others are skeptical, but nobody ignores him. MicroStrategy's Bitcoin strategy is not without risks. Several things could go wrong. First, Bitcoin price risk. If Bitcoin crashes below MicroStrategy's average purchase price and stays there, the company sits on permanent losses. While unrealized losses do not affect cash flow, they hurt the stock price. If Bitcoin goes to zero, MicroStrategy's treasury is worthless. Second, leverage risk. MicroStrategy has billions in debt. If Bitcoin falls far enough, lenders could demand repayment or liquidate collateral. While the loans are structured with long maturities, a severe Bitcoin crash could create problems. Third, regulatory risk. Governments could ban or heavily regulate Bitcoin. China already banned it. The US could follow. If Bitcoin becomes illegal or heavily restricted, its value could collapse. MicroStrategy would be stuck holding a worthless or illiquid asset. Fourth, technology risk. Bitcoin could have a fatal bug. A quantum computer could break its encryption. A better cryptocurrency could replace it. While these risks are considered low, they are not zero. Fifth, opportunity cost. MicroStrategy is spending billions on Bitcoin instead of growing its software business. Competitors are investing in R&D, acquisitions, and expansion. MicroStrategy is stagnating in its core business. If Bitcoin fails, the company has nothing to fall back on. Sixth, concentration risk. MicroStrategy is massively concentrated in one asset. Diversification is the foundation of risk management. MicroStrategy has abandoned diversification. It is all in on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin fails, the company fails. Critics point to these risks. They argue Saylor is irresponsible. He is betting the company on a speculative asset. He is ignoring fiduciary duties. He should be fired, but Saylor has answers. Bitcoin is not speculative. It is the hardest money in history. The risks are overblown. Governments will not ban Bitcoin. It is too decentralized. Technology risks are minimal. The code has been battle-tested for 15 years, and the opportunity cost argument is backwards. Holding cash is the opportunity cost. Cash loses value. Bitcoin gains value. Saylor is confident. He has thought through every risk. He is willing to bet the company, and so far he is winning. MicroStrategy is not the only company buying Bitcoin. Several others have followed. Tesla. In February 2021, Elon Musk's Tesla buys $1.5 billion of Bitcoin. The price surges. But later, Tesla sells some Bitcoin. Musk's commitment wavers. By 2024, Tesla still holds some Bitcoin, but it is not accumulating like MicroStrategy Block, formerly Square. Jack Dorsey's company buys $50 million of Bitcoin in October 2020. Dorsey is a Bitcoin believer. Block continues buying. By 2024, it holds over 10,000 Bitcoin. But it is a fraction of MicroStrategy's holdings. Marathon Digital, Riot Platforms. These Bitcoin mining companies hold Bitcoin as part of their operations. They mine coins and hold them. By 2024, they own tens of thousands of Bitcoin. But they are crypto-native companies, not traditional corporations. El Salvador. In September 2021, El Salvador becomes the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. President Nayib Bukele buys Bitcoin for the national treasury. By 2024, the country owns over 5,000 Bitcoin. It is a controversial experiment. Critics say it is reckless. Supporters say it is visionary, but none of these compare to MicroStrategy. It is the undisputed leader. It owns over 214,000 Bitcoin, more than any other publicly traded company, more than most countries. It is the Bitcoin Treasury Company. Not everyone loves MicroStrategy's Bitcoin strategy. Critics are vocal. Peter Schiff, a gold advocate, constantly attacks Bitcoin. He calls it a bubble, a Ponzi scheme. He says it has no intrinsic value. He predicts it will go to zero. He mocks Saylor. MicroStrategy is a leveraged Bitcoin bet. When it crashes, the company is finished. Warren Buffett, the legendary investor, avoids Bitcoin. He calls it rat poison squared. He says it produces nothing. It has no value. He would never own it. His partner, Charlie Munger, is even harsher. He calls Bitcoin stupid and evil. Traditional finance analysts are skeptical. They point to Bitcoin's volatility. It is too risky for corporate treasuries, they argue. Companies should hold stable assets, not speculative cryptocurrencies. Some MicroStrategy shareholders sue. They claim Saylor is mismanaging the company. He is putting shareholder value at risk. He is turning a software company into a Bitcoin fund without proper approval. The lawsuits go nowhere, but the criticism stings. Even some Bitcoin advocates question MicroStrategy's leverage. Borrowing to buy Bitcoin is dangerous, they warn. If the price crashes, MicroStrategy could be liquidated. They prefer a more conservative approach, but Saylor ignores the critics. He has heard it all before. When he bought Bitcoin at $11,000, they said it was too high. When he bought at $30,000, they said it was a bubble. When he bought at $40,000, they said it would crash. Now Bitcoin is at $100,000. Saylor was right. They were wrong. Critics have been predicting Bitcoin's death for 15 years, Saylor says. It is still here. It is still growing, and it is winning. By 2024, MicroStrategy is the largest corporate Bitcoin holder. Over 214,000 coins, worth over $21 billion. The company's market cap is over $50 billion. The stock has increased tenfold since August 2020. But what is next? MicroStrategy shows no signs of stopping. Saylor continues to buy. He issues more debt, more equity. He borrows more. He accumulates more Bitcoin. The software business is secondary. Revenue is flat. Growth is minimal. But nobody cares. Investors buy MicroStrategy for Bitcoin exposure, not software. Some wonder, will MicroStrategy officially become a Bitcoin company? Will it rebrand? Will it spin off the software business? Saylor has hinted at it. He calls MicroStrategy a Bitcoin Treasury Company. The software is just legacy business. Others wonder, will Saylor ever sell? He says never, but circumstances change. If Bitcoin hits $1 million, will he take some profits? Saylor insists no. Bitcoin is the exit strategy, he says. You do not sell Bitcoin. You borrow against it. MicroStrategy's future is tied to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin succeeds, MicroStrategy succeeds. If Bitcoin fails, MicroStrategy fails. There is no middle ground. Saylor has bet everything. Regardless of what happens next, Michael Saylor has already left his mark. He proved a corporation can hold Bitcoin. He pioneered the corporate Bitcoin Treasury strategy. He showed others the way. Before MicroStrategy, no major company held Bitcoin. After MicroStrategy, Tesla, Block, and others followed. Saylor changed corporate finance. He made Bitcoin respectable for corporations. He also changed how companies think about cash. For decades, companies held cash in money market funds and short-term bonds. Safe, boring. Saylor challenged that. He said cash is dying. Inflation is real. Companies need better treasury assets. Bitcoin is the answer. Whether other companies follow MicroStrategy's extreme approach remains to be seen. Most will not. The risk is too high. The volatility is too extreme, but some will. And Bitcoin's role in corporate treasuries is now established. Saylor's personal legacy is also secure. He will be remembered as Bitcoin's corporate champion, the CEO who bet everything and won. Or, if Bitcoin fails, the CEO who destroyed shareholder value chasing a speculative bubble. History will decide. But for now, in 2024, Saylor is vindicated. Bitcoin is at $100,000. MicroStrategy's bet has made billions. The transformation from software company to Bitcoin Treasury Company is complete. Today, MicroStrategy is no longer a software company that owns Bitcoin. It is a Bitcoin company that happens to have a software division. The transformation is complete. Michael Saylor bet everything on Bitcoin. He converted the company's treasury. He took on billions in debt. He issued equity. He used every financial tool available to accumulate Bitcoin. He ignored critics. He weathered crashes. He held through the fear. And he was right. MicroStrategy owns over 214,000 Bitcoin, worth over $21 billion. The company's market cap is over $50 billion. Investors who bought in August 2020 have made 10 times their money. Those who held through the 2022 crash are rewarded. Saylor is now a Bitcoin legend. He proved corporations can hold Bitcoin. He pioneered the strategy. He evangelized the mission. He changed corporate finance forever. Whether this ends well or badly remains to be seen. Bitcoin could hit $1 million. MicroStrategy could become one of the most valuable companies in the world. Or Bitcoin could crash. MicroStrategy could collapse. Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. Michael Saylor transformed a boring software company into the most controversial, most exciting, most talked about corporate Bitcoin story in history. From software company to Bitcoin Treasury Company, the gamble of a lifetime. And so far, it is paying off.